What's up, everybody? On a podcast now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what's next for Life is Strange. Obviously, in terms of stuff we already know, that stuff's confirmed. But in terms of what they do after that, I have some ideas. I have some kind of do's and don'ts, things that I'd like to see, and I want to go through them for you guys, and I definitely want to hear from you guys as well in the comments below. Quick little plug. I've talked a lot about Life is Strange already so far. We've gone over the endings. We've talked about the story. I did actually a full review, a really long review on this game. So if you guys missed any of that stuff, all on the channel, okay, just from a few days ago. And let's just jump in. So, again, I did not expect this game to be this good. That is obviously a personal opinion. If you don't agree, that's totally okay. But I'm really happy with what we got. So honestly, and why do I say that? Well, my forecast of what I want to see in the future and what I would even expect to see has honestly changed, because I didn't know if this game was going to be, if this game failed, obviously you really need to pivot to do, and again, personal opinion, I guess sales probably aren't a personal opinion, they know if they did good money-wise or if they didn't do good money-wise, but honestly, number one, and I've said this before, I said this in the review, and I don't say this to slight Don't Nod, although I kind of do, but it's really just a matter of importance. Keep Deck 9 on this. Give them the keys to the castle. Now they do, and I say that in, kind of knowing what's actually going on here, right? We can all see it. Deck 9 is in control. Don't Nod's done. Now, Don't Nod has said, they may come back in the future. Again, not to be too mean, and I don't wish any of these people ill will, nothing like that. I want them the best success at their jobs and all that stuff. But honestly, Don't Nod, leave this game alone. Leave the franchise alone. Don't come back, at least for a very, very long time. Let Deck 9 do it. As I've said, Before the Storm was not universally well received. I really liked it, but I know there's several people that didn't. But my God, True Colors, again, in my opinion, is right below Life is Strange 1. And, it's not even in the same planet, truly, as Life is Strange 2. It's just so much better in every single way. And I talked about a lot of those ways in my reviews. So, number one is keep Deck 9 on the job. You do the Steph DLC, which at this point, I'm more excited than ever before. Partially because we've seen leaks of certain things that could happen in that episode that I won't necessarily go into here, and I'll warn you if I do, but, that makes me more excited. And now the fact that they destroyed, in a good way, they crushed it with True Colors, I cannot wait for Steph's DLC. And then Life is Strange Remastered. Look, I know not everybody's thrilled with, the visual look of the remaster. It didn't look exactly, right. I was still generally okay with it, and I've said it before, Life is Strange 1, obviously, the lip syncing doesn't really work, and it didn't even work back then, but I've always liked visually how it is. The colors do pop, which is a funny kind of connection, because True Colors, the colors in this game, is absolutely incredible as well. So, I'm very excited to play Remastered and to go back through it. Now, again, going in the future, I would have said, if True Colors failed, okay, if this game was not a success, and again, maybe it's not, I like it, maybe you guys like it, but if it doesn't, do well, let's say, the first thing I would do if I'm them is I go back to Max. I go back to now, again, I will throw this in here, and I've thrown this in as many Life is Strange videos as I can. There were rumors back with True Colors that there's a fourth game in the works. They'll do it after True Colors with Max and Chloe. Not to get into spoilers for the Steph's DLC, but there could be returning characters in Steph's DLC. So, again, without getting, I guess, too far into that, is it possible that they're already doing something with at least Max? Maybe not Chloe, but let's just say at least Max in future games. Yes, and would I like that? Oh my God, sign me up right, where do I sign? You know what I mean? That wouldn't, there's really not many things that would make me more happy than Deck 9, who in my opinion has proved themselves twice and massively here with True Colors to tackle Max again, even though they did her in the farewell episode, and they did a phenomenal job, I think, in that farewell episode, but to do kind of a part 2, where she's at now, a whole new adventure, stuff like that. So, again, I would have said that's the only thing you should do if the game failed. If True Colors doesn't make money or people just flat out didn't like it, you go back and you give Max a part 2. You figure out what you want to do with Chloe. If you want to declare, hey, canon is that she lives, or canon is that she, however you want to do it. But to make that, make that point. With the game succeeding, it actually pains me to say this in a way, but in a way also I'm very, very happy. You don't need to do that. I love Max a lot. Like, in terms of characters, in terms of Life is Strange characters, I think she's the best. In terms of video game characters, I think she's very high up there, protagonist, all that stuff. So I will always want her in these games. I will always support the idea of her coming back, okay? However, with True Colors working, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of up for anything. But there's a couple stipulations. There's a couple things I need them to do to make sure they got this. Number one is focusing on a condensed area and a condensed group of characters. Lead, and then also, your supporting characters. That's the number one thing that, well, there are other things, and maybe if I talk myself into it, those would become more important. But I mean, you just go based off of history. I do think something that would be widely agreed upon is one of the reasons One worked and True Colors worked. One place, Arcadia Bay, Haven Springs, characters that you like or could relate to or stick around long enough for you to actually grow to. Maybe you hate them, but at least you grow to hate them. You know what I mean? And that's what happens in both these games, because it's one area, one set of characters. You're not traveling across the country, which is my subtle dig at Life is Strange 2. Politics, forcing things down your throat. I'm not going to go too far into that because I know that always makes people upset, but I do think there is something. I mean, it could just be me, but I really don't think it is. And I really think just looking online kind of proves that. This game is just, you get in, you get a likable character in Alex, just like Max. Again, Max is a little bit more reserved. I think it takes longer for you to fall in love with Max. Alex, I think, is a little bit more immediate, but there's still a similarity there. And honestly, it's not even a similarity that they're both girls. You could do female characters, you could do males, you could do whoever you want. I truly don't care. Make them somewhat likable, right? Make them actual characters and tell a story. Tell an emotional, I would even say grounded in a way, even though Life is Strange 1 obviously went a little bit more supernatural, but it was still very much grounded in Max's emotions, and I think they nailed it. And again, that's Don't Nod. I'm going to give them a ton of credit for Life is Strange 1, and I always will. But see, those are the themes. I mean, I know I'm kind of just recapping why I like 1 and True Colors, but when we're talking about the future, these are the things I want. If you're not going to do Max, if you want to do, again, just a whole new story, whole new area, whole new main character, whole new side characters, and whole new power, you can do that. I mean, again, I wouldn't have really been up for that if True Colors wasn't my cup of tea. You know what I mean? But it was. I loved it. So I would take more of it. If you want to pick another randomized generator of character, location, and power, go ahead. Again, it's something that you just kind of have to nail, I would say, those key aspects. The setting needs to feel alive, needs to feel like its own character. The main character needs to be somewhat relatable, but also just, I mean, and I know good is such a, that's not really a very detailed, but I think I've gone into details enough of why Sean and Daniel are not good characters and Alex and Max are, and I've done that in many, many videos over the past, 3 to 5 years, but so there's more to it, but to kind of keep it simple, you make a solid, really good character. The power is important, you know what I mean? I have said, I still don't think her reading emotions is as good as time travel, but it's hard to beat. It just, again, all these are just my opinion. It's very hard to beat time travel. You know what I mean? It's such a cool, there's so many possibilities. There's paradoxes and butterfly effects and all of these different things that, throughout history and just in different mediums of entertainment, different people have tackled. It's really interesting, and it's hard to beat that. But I actually really loved her ability for emotions, and it's more than kind of what they marketed it as, which I actually really like that as well. So I think you can easily do it. So again, number 1, keep Deck 9. Never let Don't Nod touch it again, and that's kind of a hyperbole, but it's also kind of not. Secondly, I would, again, you either do Max, you go back to Max, or, and now, I guess I've never talked about, could you do Alex Part 2? I really don't think so. I will never actually say no probably to Alex either, because I really do like her as a character too. I think she's actually absolutely amazing. So I don't think I'd ever say no to a True Colors 2, but I just feel like, I don't know, I still feel like Max is better. I still feel like people probably generally like her more, generally like Life is Strange 1 more, especially from what I've kind of seen on the internet. So, I wouldn't rule it out, but I also don't think you should do that. So either Max, or you try to replicate True Colors again, you know what I mean, by hitting that randomized generator and getting all of those very important factors in a Life is Strange game, and you gotta, nail each one. So that's how I would do it. So let me know, guys, what you think in the comments. If you want me to cover, and I'm not gonna shy away from covering Life is Strange in the future, but we'll probably take a little break and then cover Steph's DLC in a few weeks. If you want me to cover anything else Life is Strange related, let me know in the comments, and I can definitely do it. Okay, but again, I'll cover Steph's DLC, the remastered game. I'll be doing that, and then any future Life is Strange games, I will 100% be there. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, all that good stuff. If you guys want to support us anywhere else, we have a Twitter, we have a second channel, we also have Patreon and YouTube memberships. Links for all of them are in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.